Before you buy the Lodge Sportsman Pro Cast Iron Grill, you need to watch this video. I mean, why did they go ahead and change this? The Lodge Sportsman Grill has been around with Lodge since 1993. Folks, that's 27 years that the original grill that they had has been around, but in this year of 2022, they have changed this. So let's take a look and see what they've done to change this. Now recently, Mrs. Cast Iron and I had the privilege of going to the National Cornbread Festival in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee, where Lodge is located. And we were blessed to be given this grill to try out and to test it. So what we're going to do, we're going to open this box up and go ahead and assemble it, and I'm going to show you what they've done to change this grill. Now here we have this piece. Now one thing that they've done for sure to change the Sportsman grill is they've reduced the amount of pieces compared to the old grill. The old grill had 6 pieces and this one only has 4. This thing is so simple to put together. So we're just going to show you, this is the firebox. This is the main frame to it here. And that's what we're going to bolt to this. This is actually an ash tray, which the old Sportsman's grill, you had to take the whole grill and dump it upside down in order to get the ashes out of it. And of course, this is your grill grate that you do your cooking from. Now, this one does not have a bail handle that hooks here. What they have here are these hook handles. So these little hook handles just hook into this to pick this thing up. But let's go ahead and assemble it. Now, it's only got 2 bolts. The other one, these are staggered on the corners. The other one, that the older Sportsman's grill had 2 on each end. So these are kind of staggered, which we'll go ahead and get those put together, and it's real simple. I mean, it's just 2 screws, 2 lock washers, and 2 nuts. Okay? And these things fit perfectly. Now, there's 2 notches here, 2 grooves, and there's 2 grooves here on your main base, which fit perfectly. You can't, I mean, they're interchangeable, so you can't get them wrong. Okay? Put our bolt in there. I'm just going to hold that in there, put my lock washer on there, put my little nut on here, and I'm just going to run it down finger tight. And then all you have to have is a regular flathead screwdriver, and you can tighten that up. Now I'm just going to get that snug so I can put my other screw in here. Put your lock washer down, put your nut on top, run that down finger tight, turn it over, and then we can tighten those up. And that's all there is to putting this thing together. It was that simple. Now, with this being the base here, let me turn this a little bit. What we have is this tray that just slides in here perfectly, okay? And this is to catch your ash. So when you have your charcoal in here, this ash tray catches your ash, and it makes it so much easier to discard your ash once the charcoal has burnt down. And now there's 2 other things that they've done here that I really like about this. They've added draft doors here, and I'll show you. Once you slide this open, you can see it says right here, draft vent open. So when you pull this out, and when this thing is hot, you're going to be using these handles to do this, okay? So, but anyway, when this draft door is open, you can see this hole right here. This is your draft, and there's one opposite of it over here. And so the wind or the air is able to go through and vent the charcoal to, if it's wide open, it's going to burn hotter, and you can close that off. It's like a damper. The draft door is like a damper to get more heat or to cool it down, and that's all that is. That's simple. And then of course you have your grill that fits on top. Now it has 2 grooves here, so you can keep your hot dogs from rolling off or whatever. And you could also put a skillet on here if you want to, and we'll be doing that later. We're going to be cooking some stuff on here. Now this grill is just like the old one. You can take and flip it upside down, and you can get your grill closer to your charcoal if you're wanting to sear a steak or something like that. But generally speaking, you're going to want to keep your grill grate up on the 4 legs like this right here. And so basically that's all there is to that. Like I said, we've got these little hook handles. If you wanted to carry this thing, you can hook it right here and you can pick this thing up and move it around. And so that's all there is to as far as the assembly goes to the Lodge Sportsman Pro Grill. Okay, what we're going to do now, we're going to get our charcoal started. Now this is real easy. This is a Weber charcoal chimney, and these things are great, man. I mean, they've got little holes in them where you can pour your charcoal in here. Well, let me just show you what we do. And this charcoal, this is just some store brand charcoal from our local grocery store. It's a good hardwood charcoal from the Ozarks. But you just pour your charcoal in. You can fill it up as much as you want. But for what we're doing today, I'm only going to do about 3/4 of a chimney. And you just take some kind of paper that you can don't mind burning, and you just want to stick this in the bottom here, basically like that, and you just light that. And you let that paper burn, and as it's burning, the flame will rise up into the charcoal and ignite the charcoal. And it has these holes here for ventilation. As you can see, it's already starting to smoke. So as that flame continues to burn in the paper, then it will ignite the charcoal, and that way you don't have any kind of lighter fluid taste or anything like that. So that's the reason why I love using a charcoal chimney starter. That way you don't have that flavor, you know, of lighter fluid. So we're going to let this ignite. It's going to take about 10 minutes or so. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our Sportsman's grill, the grill off of it, and we're going to spray it down with some cooking oil. And then once the charcoal is lit, we'll put that in, and we'll get ready and start our chicken thighs here in just a minute. Okay, now one other thing about these charcoal chimney starters, of course it has a handle here and it has a heat shield here, so it will protect you from you know, the heat of the charcoal. Now on the Lodge Sportsman Pro Grill, there are a couple things I want to point out. Lodge put their label out here on the end of this, and then on this other end they put 1896 on this handle. 1896 was when Lodge was established as a cast iron manufacturer. And now what we're going to do as the charcoal continues to get hot there, all I want to do basically is just use some regular cooking spray and just lightly spray this grill so our chicken thighs won't stick to it. And since this is hot, now I'm going to use a glove just to be safe. And what we're going to do, a couple things, another thing I want to show you too. On the ashtray, on one end it says open, on the other end it says draft vent closed. So you can move that to a certain point where it's all the way open, or it shows here that it's closed. And so what we're going to do though, we're going to open it wide open so we can get our charcoal lit. Just take your chimney and you just want to lightly, be careful, and dump just a little layer of charcoal in here. Now you don't want too much. I usually put about 1 layer in there, and that is plenty. That'll burn for a good while. So once you get your charcoal in there, You want to take and place your grill grate back on top, and we'll let that heat up for just a minute with the draft door completely open. That way it's getting full air, and it'll help to ignite the charcoal even more. I'm gonna go get my chicken thighs, and we'll be back here in just a minute, and we're gonna cook some chicken thighs today. Well, like I mentioned earlier, Teresa and I were blessed to be able to go to the National Cornbread Festival, and I picked up this skillet as a souvenir. It's the 25th anniversary National Cornbread Festival skillet, so we're going to be using that today. And what we're going to do, I'm just going to place it up here on the Sportsman's grill, and I need to take a little bit of olive oil. What we're going to make, we're going to fry or saute some radishes. So basically you just put a little bit of oil in your skillet here, and I'm going to place some red onions in here also. So about that many right there. And then we're going to put just a good amount of radishes in here, and saute them up. Now these radishes are great. Typically when you eat them like on a salad, they're they kind of have a twang to them, but when you saute them like this in a skillet, it takes away the taste of it. Okay, we just kind of stir these radishes around with the onion, and we'll let those saute down. And while we're doing that, I'm going to take some chicken thighs. Now I have been letting my chicken thighs marinate. Put some Baker's barbecue competition rub on here. This is a friend of mine from my hometown, Mike Baker, and I'll leave a link to his website for this rub. But anyway, we've been letting our chicken thighs marinate in a 1-gallon bag for a few hours and letting it soak up all that good flavoring. And so we're just going to take and place some of these in here. Oh, listen to that sizzle. So we'll place 3 of them on there, and we'll let those begin to cook for a while. And as those cook, we'll get ready and flip those, and then we'll be back here in just a little bit and show you guys what these look like. Okay, I just want to kind of show you where we're at on some of this. The radishes are beginning to saute nice. We're using this thing's called a fisky. It's a fork and a whisk, and you can use it to whisk up food, or to fork, to scoop something up. That's pretty cool. Now, another thing that I failed to do earlier is usually we put a little bit of bacon in this. So I want to add a little bit of bacon and let that cook. Well, I'm going to go ahead. That's about 2 pieces. And then also I have some Trauma Hogs barbecue SPG, just salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder. And I'm going to take and add a little bit of that to this just to give it a little bit of flavor. And we'll take our fisky and just kind of mix that up there a little bit. Now our chicken thighs are doing real good. Now what I had to do earlier, I had to close the draft door completely off because the charcoal was getting pretty hot. So that's one thing that you need to be aware of on one of these charcoal grills, Sportsman Pro grill, or any grill like this, a hibachi type grill, is they cook hot. And so you got to constantly be flipping your meat or whatever you're cooking so you don't burn it too bad. And I mean, it's got some char on it, but a lot of that is from the sugar out of the seasoning. So anyway, I just want to kind of show you where we're at on these. We're going to continue to cook these. And before we go, now I've got a ThermoPro Insta-Read thermometer, and it's ambidextrous. You can do it from both directions. If you're left-handed or right-handed, it'll read either way. And I think that's pretty cool. So ThermoPro makes a pretty good Insta-Read thermometer. That's running 169, 170, so that one's definitely done. You want to get your chicken up to at least 165. That one's getting close. And you always want to test these away from the bone. You don't want to get on the bone. Be sure and get close to the bone. So we still got another few degrees to go on that one. This one here has a little ways to go also. But this one here, That's 170. We're gonna have to get that off now. So folks, we're gonna continue to cook these chicken thighs, and we'll come back here in a minute and show you what these all look like. All right, well, let's go ahead and check these chicken thighs here. I've got my Thermal Pro Insta-Read thermometer. That's running 175, so that one's definitely ready. 172, 173 over on that side of the bone. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that one and put it in my little skillet here. Now these also are done. I mean, they're fork tender, look at that. I mean, these are just almost like fried potatoes. So we can get ready, and I'm gonna scoop a few of those up into my plate. And so there we have it. I want you to look at these. Man, oh man. I know it's hot. Wow. Those are really good. Folks, those are radishes sauteed in red onions with some olive oil and just some bacon bits in it. And of course, we've got our chicken thighs here. They're seasoned with SPG. The chicken thighs are seasoned and marinated with Mike Baker's barbecue rub, competition rub. How's that taste, Mrs. Cast Iron?
That is good. I love that Mike Baker's seasoning. And then this is the SPG from Trauma Hogs that we've always loved. Oh, those are delicious. I love those. Low calorie too. Great. Those are delicious. Very good, Mr. Cast Iron.
We're going to go ahead and finish cooking these, and we hope this has been helpful for you guys on this Lodge Sportsman Pro Grill. They're very nice, and we're so thankful that we have had the opportunity to review one of these. I love cooking on them, and so we're going to finish what we're doing here. You guys have a great day, and we'll be talking to you again soon. It's Mr. and Mrs. Cast Iron over here. We'll see y'all later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.